On this channel, $1 Million Made Easy, we love to run numbers for people. We use the actual historical returns for the S&P 500 for the last 100 years, which includes the depression years. We project ahead what similar returns might do for you in the future. They won't be exact. And the resulting numbers are simply a possible range of what may happen in the future. I'm not a financial advisor, just a numbers guy, and I've created lots of different spreadsheets to help run numbers for you. Just ask in the comments section you want me to run your numbers, but please restrict your request to the following criteria. In this video, we got somebody in the accumulation stage. They're going to give me a beginning balance, a monthly contribution, and if they want to increase that or not, and how long to run it for. Well, in this case, they don't know how long to run it for. They want to be able to retire as soon as they have a certain amount saved. So we're going to go ahead and run some numbers for him. Please consider subscribing to this channel, share this channel, let other people know about it, comment in the videos. Thanks so much for watching. So here's the situation. I'm going to do this from the reverse, looking at it from the reverse point of view. He says he wants to withdraw $80,000 per year, and he's aiming for a 4% withdrawal rate. A 4% withdrawal rate, we need 25 times what you want to draw out during the year. So let me just show you what I mean by that. If you take 25 times 80,000, which is his desired withdrawal each year, you need $2 million. Show you how this works. Or you can simply take 25 times it, but we'll just show you here. And let's be see the 3.9% at 6,500 or 67 to 50 is for a little bit over 4%, but that's 4%. And when I run these numbers, you'll see that over the last 100 years, you'd only have 2 possible years where you'd have any kind of issues, and that was in 1928 and 1929. Let me show you here. There's the 2 years running out of money in less than 20 years, and also obviously if you're out of money in 20 years, you're going to be out of money in 30 years, but every other scenario, you'd be just fine with all kinds of money left. So again, that's the 4% rule. So what we need to see is how long it would take him to get to a $2 million given what he currently has. That's where you want to run the numbers here. It says he has, let's see, 320,000. By the way, he's only 26 years old, folks. He's got 320,000 saved already as a 26-year-old. Congratulations. He says he can save 48,000 per year, which is 4,000 a month. I set this spreadsheet up, which really helps us understand what he might need going forward, how long he might need to work. He's 26 years old, and what we're looking for is, in the worst case scenario, in the last 100 years, what it would take to get to $2 million. Well, this is the worst case scenario for every year for the last 100 years, given these different time periods and putting in the money that he's putting in. So in the next 17 years, actually 19 years, he would have put in 1.232. In the worst case scenario, he'd have $2 million. That's the goal we're looking for right there. So if he worked 19 more years, he's 26. If he'd worked till he's 45, if he could continue this going through, he'd have $2.158 million. And folks, this is in the worst case scenario. If he got to $2 million, for example, right here in 18 years, the third worst case in the last 100 years, he'd have that in 18 years. And you can see right here, the fifth lowest, in other words, 95% of the time, he'd already have more than 2 million. But right here, after 17 years, he'd have 2 million. But you can kind of go through here. The median right here looks like the median, half the time he'd have this amount, and half the time he wouldn't make it that high. He could do that in as early as 12 years from now. But again, it's so young, you hate to run numbers and tell somebody that you can retire in 12 years because so many things can happen. But he wanted me to run the numbers for him. So again, if he worked 19 years and had 2,158,000, let's change this to 2,158,000. 2,158,000. I'm going to stay with the 4% rule. Let's just go with right here. And we're going to have the same kind of situation where only 2 times in the last 100 years you would run out of money. Because I've run this 4% rule so often, I know those are the only 2 years you have any kind of a problem. And there you go again, every other scenario. So if you can get to $2 million, again, you need to take account inflation. And I hate to tell a 26-year-old you could be retiring in 19 years. But if he wanted to get to $2 million, which at a 4% rule would give him the 80,000 a year. Now he may not. He may want to have more than 80,000 in 19 years from now. He may want to have more like 100,000 or whatever. In that case, let's see if he how about 9,000 a year, which would be 5% of this. But again, how often would he have that? Let's see if he had again, I'm just running numbers just to show you how we can do this. How about 20 years? You'd have 2.586 million, 2.586, 2.586 million, and 8,750 or 8,500. How about 8,750, which would be 105,000 a year, which would allow for some inflation next 20 years. Then he could withdraw 105,000 and still have that. As long as we're staying this 4% rule, you're just going to see the only problems are these 2 years right there. So I'm just trying to kind of give him some numbers to look forward to. Again, that 80,000 that he's looking forward to right now, he could possibly need twice that much by the time 19 years goes by. But I just love to run numbers for people. Again, he's on a great track already. If he's got this much saved already, he did say he could do a part-time gig where he could make 30,000 a year. So he's going to be in great shape. But I was just kind of give him some kind of numbers. You ought to be shooting for like the $2 million mark in today's dollars, and you want to do that with inflation. You want to see maybe in 18 or 19 years, you'd need 3,000 or 3,500, or 3 million or 3,500,000. This is the numbers he wanted me to run, so I just thought I'd run them for him, just showing him the kind of money he might have in these different time periods. And this, folks, this is in the worst case scenario. This is the second worst, third worst. The 10th lowest means 90% of the time you'd actually have more than these amounts. And the median is right here. After 15 years, the median you have $3 million. If you happen to hit a really good stretch for 15 years, you'd actually have as much as 7.5 million, second highest being just under 7 million. But that's what we do with this channel. We can run all kinds of different numbers. This person, 26 years old, is in great shape if he can continue to do this kind of thing, and especially when he has that 30,000 a year gig that he could do as a part-time job. That's what we do with this channel. We run numbers for people. Your numbers will be totally different, but that's what we do. If you want me to run them for you, just keep the request to these criteria. Your beginning balance, which he gave me, his monthly contribution, which he gave me. He didn't say anything about increasing that, but if you want to increase that by 1, 2, 3% a year, we go ahead and do that. And then how long you want me to run it for. Normally people give me a time frame. Like if they're 26 years old, they say, I want to retire in 30 years. So we'd run it for 30 years. But he wanted to know when he could possibly get retire, when he be able to withdraw 4% and get 80,000 a year. So that's what we did. Please consider subscribing, sharing, and liking these videos. And please share with your friends. Let them know there's a channel out there that will run numbers for them. And thanks so much for watching.